And all the headlines on News Express. Reps NCC urge Labour to shelve planned protests over telecoms tariff hike. And the business federal government to empower 500,000 rice farmers. On the front scene, Trump says he ordered airstrikes on Islamic State group in Somalia. And the sport, Israel Adesanya suffers second career knockout loss. Hello and welcome to the News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I'm Rick and Michael. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times, channel 276 and free-to-air on Microsat. The House of Representatives Committee on Communications is interfering with the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress to avert the nationwide protest scheduled for February 1st, 2025 over the 50% hike in the telecom tariff. The Nigerian Communications Commission recently approved a 50% tariff increase for telecommunications companies, citing prevailing operational costs. Following this development, the NLC vowed to embark on a nationwide protest, calling on the federal government and the National Assembly to revert to the old tariff in the interim. Governor Leah of Benue State has charged the leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria to join active politics in order to bring about the much-needed change in governance. The governor made the call when he played host to the North Central Zone of the session in an interactive meeting. Our correspondent Felicity Ndere has more details.
With the association at the instance of Governor Hyacinth Alia is to share ideas with the body of Christ on how best to influence governance and bring about the desired change for the overall good of society. The governor told the Christian community to be preachers of peace and unity, advocates of human capital development who must insist on what is right in the sight of God. He maintained that all these can only be achieved when people with the fear of God participate actively in politics of the nation to ensure good governance.
What benefit would it be when you just stand on the side complaining, and every government and regime that comes in, you complain, then you drink water and settle and then keep complaining? Are you fulfilled? You cannot be fulfilled. Be a player. Be a player. There's so much you can do. When you understand the word, it even places you on a better platform for you to bring social change.
The leadership of the Christian Association of Nigeria in the North Central region stated that they are committed to representing the church as ambassadors of not only the spiritual realm, but also for societal development. While appreciating the numerous achievements of the governor within his short time in office, the leaders of CAN encouraged him to remain focused and hold firm his vision for the state, assuring the governor of all-round support.
The challenges facing our religion today, whether in governance, security, education, economic development, or religious harmony, requires a unified approach. No single individual, institution, or government can address them alone. Progress is only sustainable when public leaders, religious organizations, civil society, and private sector work together in synergy.
Prayers were offered for the governor as well as goodwill messages from CAN leadership across the state in the North Central and the Federal Capital Territory. In Makurdi, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News.
President of Nigerian Bar Association Afam Ozigwe, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, has commended President Bola Tinubu for signing the Nigerian Maritime University Bill into law. Ozigwe said the university, when fully operational, will not only create jobs for the Niger Delta people, but also possibly lead to the end of agitation in the region. In a statement, he personally signed and described the initiative as historic several years after the alveoli of the university was muted as one of the possible solutions to the agitation in the Niger Delta region. In our Niger, Security and Civil Defense Corps has responded to the petroleum tanker accident at Guarake along Kaduna Road, deploying the tactical teams to prevent a potential fire disaster and control the situation. Following the incident, the Corps immediately took action to secure the area and prevent fuel scoping, which could have led to catastrophic explosion. And now this was contained in a statement signed by the NSCDC spokesperson Babala Folabi, stating that the emergency response team was led by the Deputy Commandant General of the Operation, Philip Ayuba, who emphasized the core commitment to disaster prevention and public safety. The Association of Resident Doctors at the Federal Teaching Hospital Lokoja in Kogi State has renewed its plea to President Bola Tinubu and the Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate, to investigate the worsening conditions at the hospital, warning that it risks total collapse. During the peaceful protest held at the hospital, Dr. Olushola Abolko, the immediate past chairman of the session, stated that the hospital's doctor count had plummeted from the 315 to just 43 due to poor working conditions, describing the hospital as a slave camp. And on to aviation matters, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has revoked the licenses of two air operators, Omni Blue Aviation and the East Wind Aviation, for violations of Part 1.2, 1.5 of the Nigeria Aviation Regulations. That offences pertain to what the aviation regulator called the falsification, reproduction, or alteration of the application's licenses, certificates, logbooks, report, or records. Authority in a post on the X handle said that the sanctions for such fraud include the revocation of the certificates. Meanwhile, the president of the National Association of Nigeria Travel Agencies, Yinka Fulami, has expressed concern over the recent near-crash incident in aviation industry. He urged stakeholders, particularly the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority and the airline operators, to come together and address all safety concerns for the sake of the traveling public. Yinka, in a statement, noted that the safety of the operational ecosystem must be prioritized for the sake of the traveling passengers. The Nigeria Safety Investigation Bureau has released a preliminary report on its ongoing investigation into the crash landing of an Allied Air Boeing 737-400 freighter at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, which took place on December 11, 2024. The Bureau stated that the plane was scheduled to collect cargo for the Central Bank of Nigeria. However, a more detailed report said that the aircraft's an error to collect cargo for the Central Bank of Nigeria experienced a malfunction with its flaps during its final approach. The police has said it will go ahead with the enforcement of the third-party insurance law starting February 1st. A spokesman of the police, ISP Muyiwa Ajebu, made this disclosure hinted that in line with the directive of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Abatugan, the Nigeria Police Force once again reiterates the enforcement of the mandatory third-party insurance, which will commence on February 1st, 2025. This initiative aims to reinforce road safety measures and ensure that all vehicle owners comply with the stipulated insurance requirement to protect themselves and others on the road. The Defense Headquarters has commenced the construction of the Invictus Center for the Armed Forces of Nigeria, a state-of-the-art rehabilitation facility designed to provide medical and psychological care for wounded, injured, and sick military personnel. Speaking at the groundbreaking ceremony in Abuja, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, described the project as a significant step in ensuring the well-being of military personnel who have sustained physical and psychological wounds in line of duty. And now to Academia Best University, one of Nigeria's leading higher institutions of learning, has held its 37th Board of Trustees meeting in Abuja. The institution's Chancellor, Dr. Dafi Baba Ahmed, says a major outcome of the meeting is the appointment of the key officers who will oversee the affairs of the university going forward. We hear Bonvegbe, who was there for Global Television, and now tells us more.
The Chancellor announced that a new Vice Chancellor has been appointed for the institution for an initial 5-year term.
It was unanimously adopted that Professor Jamila Shuara be appointed the Vice Chancellor for Bayes University for a first 5-year tenure in accordance with the university law. And this will be with effect from Monday, 3rd February 2025.
Similarly, Dr. Dasi Baba Ahmed stated that the university now has a new registrar in the person of Professor Abiodun Adeniyi.
I am also to announce the appointment of Professor Abiodun Adeniyi as the registrar of Bayes University for the first time, and again is in accordance with the university law of Bayes University.
The appointed officers share their thoughts on the appointments and make a commitment to continually drive the culture of academic excellence at the university.
Bayes University is an institution that is a brand. It's synonymous with excellence. The job of the Vice Chancellor is to open up new vistas, academic excellence, studentship, capacity building, quality of staff, quality of infrastructure, and community engagement. This is what the job of a Vice Chancellor entails, and I hope and pray that I will do my best.
It's an honor, to be recognized and to be considered fit for that position. And of course, a tremendous thanks to the owner of the University Council, for that confidence. And it's a responsibility that, one hopes not to shirk, by doing our very best, with the support of the Almighty God.
Dr. Mohamed Bello Waziri Dogo was also reappointed for a second term of 3 years as the Chief Medical Director of Bayes University Hospital. Uyi Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global Television News.
Now to Imo State, as Executive Council has reaffirmed its support for Governor Hope Uzodimma by passing a vote of confidence on his leadership at his first meeting in his second tenure. The council commended the governor's developmental strides, pledging continued support for policies aimed at transforming the state. Our correspondent, Amara Chibe, has a report.
The highlights was the announcement of a strategic partnership between the United Nations and the state government to engage 1,000 graduates of the Skill Up Imo program. Under this initiative, beneficiaries will be deployed to various ministries, departments and agencies across the state, earning a monthly stipend of 100,000 for 12 months. Addressing journalists after the meeting, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Declan Emelumba, described the partnership as a major endorsement of the state's digital transformation agenda and a boost for youth empowerment.
The engagement will see to these 1,000 graduates of the program receiving 100,000 naira every month for 12 months. That's the initial agreement. They will engage them for 12 months.
In another significant development, the Executive Council approved a $21 million contract for the upgrading of the electricity transmission and distribution network in the state. The project aims to provide steady power supply across all 27 local government areas, a move expected to spur industrial growth and economic development.
The engagement proved the award of contract to develop and upgrade the electricity transmission and distribution network in the state to Matco Projects Company at a cost of $21 million. That is for ensure that before the second or third quarter of this year ends, all the 27 local governments in the state will be connected to 24/7 electricity.
Other key decisions reached at the meeting include re-elimination of industrial and mining sites across the state, signing MOU with University of California and Silicon Valley, formally approve of the Orashi Special Energy Free Zone in collaboration with development partners, a collaboration with Eastern West Management Company to enhance waste management service in the state. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, the Imo State Ministry of Digital Economy and E-Government says it is poised to drive innovation, skills development, and digital transformation in 2025. Following Governor Hope Uzodimma's recent visit to the ministry's facilities, stakeholders are optimistic of the new initiative that will empower citizens and strengthen the state's digital economy. Amarachi Ibe report again.
In an interview with Chimezi Amadi, the Commissioner for Digital Economy and E-Government, he highlighted the ministry's strategic plans for 2025, including expanding digital skills training under the Skill Up Imo project, fostering tech-driven entrepreneurship, and enhancing e-governance solutions to improve public service delivery.
His Excellency has just announced the evolving partnership between the Imo State government and the Silicon Valley in California to build the Imo State Digital City. This is also evolving and will happen pretty soon. And when that happens, Imo State will automatically become the regional and the national innovation hub and the digital skills capital of Nigeria, which is part of our dream and our pursuit.
Amadi stated that the ministry also plans to strengthen partnerships with tech firms and academic institutions to build a digitally savvy workforce. Experts believe these initiatives will position Imo State as a leading digital hub in Nigeria.
Use 2022 to 2023 and even 2024, also 2025, to build a strong digital empowered citizens and also industry-ready digital workforce. These industry-ready digital workforce will be effectively deployed both in the private sector, public sector, and also the informal sector.
With a clear roadmap for innovation and empowerment, the Imo State Ministry of Digital Economy says it is set to make 2025 a transformative year as the state harnesses technology for growth. The vision of a digitally inclusive and economically vibrant Imo State becomes even more attainable. From Owerri, Amarachi Ibe, reporting for Global TV News.
You're watching the live broadcast of News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. When News Express returns, Israel Adesanya so far second career knockout Laos. We shall bring you those details as well as foreign, sports and business stories right after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back to News Express. Now, Nigerian Communications Commission has said that the telecommunications industry under its watch is one of the sectors whose performance lifted the country out of recession in the fourth quarter of 2020. As it says, the sector contributed to 12.45% to the country's gross domestic product. Latest data released by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that telecommunications and information services other in the information and communications grew by 17.64% in the quarter 4 of 2020 from the 17.36% of the quarter 3 of 2020 and the 10.26% of the quarter 4 of 2019. And now more in business, the price of rice in Nigeria is set to decrease as the federal government steps up with efforts to support local farmers, particularly those engaged in rice production. President of All Farmers Association of Nigeria, Kabir Ibrahim, says the National Agricultural Growth Scheme Agro Pocket Project is expected to empower the 500,000 farmers starting in February 2025. The intervention, he has shared, will provide comprehensive support to the farmers and contribute to ramping up rice production, which has faced challenges in recent years. Data released by the Nigerian Communications Commission has indicated that Nigeria's internet consumption has reached over 900,733.45 terabytes in December 2024, marking a 36.5% year-on-year increase from the 713,200 terabytes recorded in December 2023. Now to foreign scene. Authorities in Sindhi are investigating whether explosives discovered in the caravan were intended for an asthmatic attack. A police said that explosives could have caused a 40-meter-wide blast and significant damage. Nothing that the threat was contained. Investigators stated that a note was found in the caravan that displayed asthmatic messages. United States President Donald Trump says he ordered a military airstrikes on its senior attack planner and orders from the Islamic State group in Somalia. In a post on X, the office of the President of Somalia said they had been informed of the U.S. strike targeting senior highest leadership in the northern part of the country. Trump, however, did not name any of the people targeted in the strikes. In another development, President Donald Trump has renewed his threats to impose a tariff on European Union products, accusing the bloc of unfair trade practices. Speaking at the White House on Friday, Trump said he will absolutely introduce a tariff on EU's goods. Trump said the United States was being treated terribly, arguing that the European market likely shut out. American exporters also pointed to the large trade deficit between the U.S. and the EU, promising to take substantial action against the bloc, though he did not provide further details. On sport news, former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya suffered his second career knockout loss on Saturday night, falling to the Nasruddin via second round in the main event at the Fight Night 250 in Saudi Arabia. A Nigerian Kiwi fighter who entered both on a two-fight losing streak following defeats to Sin Strike Lin and the Duros started well with a series of hard low kicks. However, Imavov remained on the third, landing a stiff shovel hook that snapped back at Adesanya's head in the first round. Atlanta forward Ademola Lookman has been included in the Champions League team of the E-League phase despite not featuring in the two matches. And now the reigning African Footballer of the Year was an unused substitute against the Young Boys in November and didn't travel with Atlanta's squad to Barcelona for match day 8 due to a knee injury he suffered at training. Lookman has been named in the Champions League team of the league phase following his outstanding performance against Arsenal, Besiktas, and Real Madrid and the Storm Gerrards. Let's wrap up the News Express. Here is a summary of some of the big stories. We told you earlier that the House of Representatives Committee on Communications is interfacing with the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress to avert the nationwide protest scheduled for February 4th, 2025 over the 50% hike in telecommunication tariff. And business authority, the price of rice in Nigeria is set to decrease as the federal government steps up with effort to support local farmers, particularly those engaged in rice production. And of course, the United States President Donald Trump says he ordered military airstrikes on its senior attack planner and orders from the Islamic State group in Somalia. And a sport we told you, former UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya suffered his second career knockout loss on Saturday night, falling to the via second round in the main event of the Fight Night 250 in Saudi Arabia. And as a package on the News Express, a quick reminder that we on DSTV channel 365 and Start Time channel 276 and free to add Nikam site. Kindly follow us on the social media platform at Global TV NG. On behalf of the entire production team, we say thank you for joining us on News Express. My name is Erika Michael. See you again.